What if I told you that some of the things we call Filipino culture aren't actually traditions worth protecting? Because these are survival habits that have quietly become unhealthy. Today I want to talk about 5 different Filipino traits that I think we need to leave behind. Not because we love our culture any less, but because we love it enough to want it to grow. If you've watched any of my videos before, you already know this is not about attacking Filipinos. It's actually the opposite. I believe that our culture has so many beautiful things worth protecting. Our generosity, our resilience, hospitality, and our ability to laugh through incredibly difficult times. Those things make me proud to be Filipino, but every culture has habits that no longer serve us. If we never talk about them, we pass them down without realizing it. So today, I want to talk about 5 traits that I believe are hurting more people than helping, and more importantly, what we can replace them with. The first one, gossip as entertainment. Let's be honest, many of us grew up in homes where gossip was not just something people did. It was entertainment, family reunions, neighborhood gatherings, even phone calls, those Facebook comments. Someone always became the topic of conversation. Who's divorced? Who's pregnant? Who's unemployed? Most importantly, who's gaining weight? Sometimes, some people say marites lang naman yan, like it's harmless. But there's a difference between sharing information and making somebody else's life your entertainment. Think about that. So why do we do it? Well, historically, communities in the Philippines were very, very close. Everybody knew everybody. Information spread by word of mouth. Gossip became a way to stay connected. The problem is that what once built community can also destroy trust. How do you say it affects us today? Well, adults became afraid to be themselves. People hide their failures. Mental health suffers because everybody feels watched. People stop asking for help because they're afraid that they're going to become the next topic of conversation. How do you break it? Well, before sharing someone else's story, ask yourself, would I say this if they were sitting right beside me? If not, maybe it's not yours to tell. Number 2 is respect without accountability. One of the most beautiful Filipino values is respect. But sometimes we confuse respect with never questioning somebody older. We've all heard this before. Matanda yan, wag mong papatulan. Magulang mo pa rin yan, as if age automatically excuses bad behavior. You see, respect for elders kept families together. Hierarchy, it actually created order. But somewhere along the way, respect became one-directional. Those children became adults who cannot speak up. Parents would never apologize, so family wounds stay unresolved for decades. Respect should never mean someone is free from accountability. I think healthy families can have both respect and responsibility. So we should normalize something that many Filipino families rarely hear. I'm sorry. You see, parents can apologize. Older siblings can apologize. Grandparents can apologize. Accountability does not weaken respect. It actually strengthens it. Number 3 is self-sacrifice as love. Many Filipinos were taught that the more you suffer, the more you love. Parents sacrifice, breadwinners sacrifice, older siblings sacrifice, OFWs sacrifice. Sometimes, a lot of times, people actually feel guilty for resting, for buying something nice for themselves. Many families truly survived because someone sacrificed. That sacrifice deserves respect, but it should not become an expectation for every generation. You may be wondering how this affects you in adulthood. Well, people burn out. Marriages suffer. You have become resentful. Children grow up believing that their value depends on what they give away. Listen, love should not require destroying yourself. Healthy love includes rest, boundaries, and joy. You can help others without abandoning yourself. Number 4 is saving face over solving problems. How many times have you heard, "What will people think?" I have a friend who once said that she wanted a Chanel purse but did not want to get it because she was afraid of what her in-laws were going to say. It's kind of sad because sometimes appearance has become more important than reality. Families pretend everything is okay. Problems stay hidden, so does mental illness, abuse, and debt, along with everything else. The goal is actually becoming to look okay, that everything is fine and dandy, instead of becoming okay. Why do you think we do this? Well, historically, reputation mattered. Communities were small, and so honor affected opportunities. Pretending everything is fine often keeps people trapped. So people don't go to therapy, they don't ask for help, couples don't ask for help, families don't talk. Children go up believing vulnerability is weakness. So we break that by choosing healing over image. You do not have to broadcast any of your struggles, but you also do not have to pretend that they do not exist, because real healing starts with honesty. Number 5 is guilt as parenting. You may be wondering, what does that even mean? This one may be the hardest. Many Filipino parents genuinely love their children, but sometimes love gets expressed through guilt. I sacrificed everything for you. After everything I've done, this is how you repay us. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not, but the result is always the same. Children feel responsible for the parents' emotions because many parents gave everything they had. Some really truly had nothing left. So guilt became the language that they knew. Not because they were evil, not at all, but because that's how they were raised too. So now those adults, they struggle with boundaries. They constantly seek approval. They feel guilty for choosing themselves. Even successful adults sometimes feel like they're disappointing someone. You may be wondering, how do you break it? Well, you break it by replacing guilt with gratitude. Instead of saying, you owe me as a parent, we need to teach, I hope that what I gave you helps you build an even better life than what I had. That is what healthy parenting looks like. Listen, children shouldn't spend adulthood paying emotional debt. They should spend it building on what their parents had already started for them. If you notice something today, I hope it's not guilt. I hope it's hope. Because none of these traits define what it means to be a Filipino. They're simply patterns that we've inherited. And inherited patterns can change. You don't have to stop loving your parents to acknowledge where they hurt you. You also don't have to reject your culture so that you can improve it. In fact, that's how culture survives. Every generation keeps the best and lets go of what no longer serves the next. Maybe that's our responsibility, to keep the generosity, to keep the resilience, keep the hospitality, keep the sense of family, but leave behind the gossip, leave behind the guilt, leave protecting titles over the truth. Leave behind pretending everything is okay, because if the next generation inherits anything from us, I hope it's not just our traditions. I hope it's healthier relationships, healthier communication, and the freedom to love their culture without having to carry the weight of its unhealthy habits. I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these 5 traits do you think has had the biggest impact on your life? I'll see you next time.